Welcome to Pinay, New Yorker, the podcast. This post was originally published at PinayNewYorker.com on February 6, 2023. Monday Musings is a regular segment in PinayNewYorker.com that lists random topics that are top of mind for me at the beginning of the week. They are shorter blurbs that don't quite make a blog post by themselves. A milder winter weekend. The temperatures in New York have started to turn milder, but we are just hovering above freezing. So our heaters are still on full blast, and we New Yorkers are walking around all bundled up like Eskimos. I am not a fan of cold weather. As someone who came from the warm and humid Philippines, winter can be such a chore. We are lucky to have been spared snow so far, but the below freezing temperatures can be brutal as is. Don't get me wrong, it is as pretty as it has been touted as it falls and right after the snowfall stops. But in the days following, the snow becomes an unwelcome presence for the constant cold, the slush, and the ice if we get the mix. Then again, we're in February. Winter will be over before we know it. Creating again. So I made a sale on the Etsy store and I was just caught off guard. That turned into a panic when I realized I couldn't find the bracelet. It led me to go through my supplies so I could recreate it and ship it on time. I went through my trays and found the check-pressed glass beads, set aside the antique brass findings needed, found the heart charm that was one of the focals of the design, and recreated it. Done. In the process, I found some pieces I had made for a craft fair I had joined last year, but which never made it to the shop. I also found some necklaces I now want to rework. There were beads, chains, focals, and other components I had set aside but have yet to use. I am hoping I can find regular time in the coming weeks to start crafting again. It seems like that's the only way I'd get anything done given the stops and starts with the creative projects. I must say the sale has made me look at the shop again. If I can sell without doing anything or uploading new pieces to offer, imagine what would happen if I posted my products more regularly. And the podcast is live. After much hesitation and endless postponements, the initial post featuring my blog post prior to this one is now live via Anchor FM and available on Spotify and some other podcast distribution channels. I'm also premiering a video of the audio on YouTube on February 8th. The podcast version of this post will follow shortly after. I feel a sense of accomplishment in that and can only hope that I will be able to maintain the momentum. Of course, the blog will always be the first place where my posts will land. My sister is suggesting I read my poetry or any poems for that matter. I am on the fence about that only because my poems are very personal to me. I also think production would vary slightly because it would need more background music. Friends have generally been supportive of the idea of the podcast as a whole, but I need listeners more than the support. Just as I am with the YouTube channel, I'm being patient and taking it slow. Wish me luck. Thank you for listening to this podcast produced by Pinay New Yorker. Please don't forget to check us out on YouTube under the same handle and on our original website, PinayNewYorker.com.